Hawk Jewelers, timeless jewelry for generations.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show Fight Against COVID-19. I'm your host, Dr. Shefali Agarwal. Good evening. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing our show. We're very excited to connect people with this show around the country who are doing many things behind the scene, like making masks, providing food to the hungry, supporting small businesses, and healthcare leaders who are there in front line. We also are interviewing people who are recipients of the great work these people are doing. It's really interesting to connect people, organizations who are doing this wonderful selfless work, and recipients who are getting this work. Today we have somebody special on our show. We have somebody from City Hall, New Hampshire. She's the Director of Administrative Services, Kim Klein. Good evening, Kim.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on the show. Kim, before we go into what's happening in the city in terms of COVID and what all the organizations are doing, tell me a little bit about yourself and your work that you do.
I am the Director of Administrative Services, and I oversee purchasing, human resources, risk, information technology, assessing, and GIS for the city.
That's wonderful. Such a great work. So, a little bit, Kim, about what's going on in the city and the work you're doing for COVID.
Well, as you know, like all the other communities in Nashua, mid-March we had to close City Hall, and our Emergency Operations Center was activated. So most of City Hall is closed. We are only operating essential personnel at this point. And Justin Cates, our Director of Emergency Management, is running the Operations Center with all of us division directors and, of course, Mayor Donchis working with him. We are purchasing and securing PPE for our front-end staff, both the police department and the fire department, as well as some essential Department of Public Works employees.
So, what are some of the challenges that you are hearing in terms of COVID, your team, and other things that you hear from the community?
I'm operating right now the supply team, which is purchasing the personal protective equipment and necessary supplies. Most of our challenges have been around securing those supplies and finding suppliers that can provide us the supplies to keep our front-end staff safe in these difficult times.
Yeah.
The city has been operating very successfully and trying to service our residents from working remotely. But certainly, like everyone else, finding the necessary supplies has been one of our greatest challenges.
Yeah. So, tell me a little bit about the organization, especially Lata Ji's organization who's been helping you. Tell me a little how it started and the whole process.
So we've known Latha Manjaputi for quite some time. She's worked with the city for years. Of course, she's in the State House. She's a state representative, and we've worked with her on many projects through the years. We were having difficulty finding cloth masks for our staff. Latha had formed a group, the New England Masketeers,
Yeah.
and she reached out to me at just the right time to let us know that her group would be willing to manufacture and sew and put together the masks and supply them to us at no cost.
So, how did it feel? Like, people, community coming together, providing masks with no cost. How did you feel?
It was just the right time. We could not find the cloth masks. We had few staff that were able to do and put them together like Latha and her group can. It was honestly a a saving grace at that time.
So, are there other organizations that have been helping you, or is there anything else except besides Lata's group?
There have been a few groups that have reached out. So Clean is a manufacturer in Peterborough, New Hampshire, and they reached out and donated some masks, but they were KN95 masks. But certainly no one has produced the quantity and the
Yeah.
quality that Latha's group has produced for us, so we are so thankful.
And so, Kim, how did you use those masks? How is that your team members? How did those masks get used?
So Latha contacts us when she has a delivery. At one point, we had to reach out to her and let her know that some of our Department of Public Works employees needed larger masks. So she's really worked with us to supply different sizes and shapes and meet our needs. She delivers them to City Hall, and we then distribute them to our essential workers. And we've been lucky. We've been able to supply them 2 or 3 apiece so that they may wash them and rotate them out. It has worked quite nicely.
Kim, who are these essential workers? Could you just describe, like, give examples of these workers that you're talking about?
Sure. So certainly our sanitation workers
Yeah.
that pick up throughout our city. We have our Department of Streets that is out there, and they're performing paving and road repairs. We have motor vehicle staff that are processing motor vehicle registrations. We have safety staff that are going out and going building to building to perform safety assessments. We have city clerk staff that are working to do records requests and birth certificates and things of that sort. And then we have IT staff that are working to make sure that our other workers can remain working remotely.
Yeah, so these are people who are working non-stop, even with this situation, supporting the community, and so it's our job to protect them and be able to provide safety for them.
Yes, yes. Most of our staff has been working 7 days a week during this pandemic.
Wow. And I think that's when we talk about that. Of course, the healthcare workers are working front line, but there are many other people also supporting this fight, along with the healthcare workers doing this job, right?
Amazingly, one of the most important departments during this time has been our Department of Public Health. And they are working with people that have contracted the virus and doing important contact testing.
Oh,
They
they
are,
are.
yes, and they are working now with businesses as they're trying to come back online, obtaining certain permits that they need, and really working to provide instruction on proper social distancing and following the governor's orders and things like that. So that department has been working 24/7,
Wow.
and they have provided a hotline to our residents should they have any questions.
What is contact tracing? You brought it up, and a lot of people talk about it. What exactly happens?
So when you have someone that has been diagnosed um, with the virus, they then have to research everybody that that person has come into contact with, and they have to inform that person that they may have come in contact with the virus, and work to see if that person is experiencing symptoms. Should they undergo testing, or should they self-quarantine or isolate?
That's an important task and such a wonderful task. And you're saying these folks are working 24/7. So, first of all, thank you to all your group and staff who is working selflessly to support this fight.
Well, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing to educate people. And thank you to Latha and the New England Musketeers.
Yeah, so there are many organizations who are doing this, supporting around, and especially like Lata's group who actually provided you masks. What do you feel like when these groups do? Is there a message to these groups, and what do you want to say?
So Nashua is a wonderful community, um, and I think it's times like these that you really see everyone come together. Uh, and we always have, certainly in difficult times, but also in joyous times when we are celebrating either at multicultural festivals or, during our Pride event, many different things. Our community, although it's 87,000 people plus, is a very small and tight-knit community, and I'm thankful for that.
So, if any groups like this show is mainly try to create awareness, connect people. If somebody wants to connect and help in any way, or try to help your group, how can they do that?
So they can certainly contact us at the City of Nashua, um, but they can also reach out on Facebook. So the city has a Facebook page. The New England Musketeers have a Facebook page. They could reach out to Latha and her group, um, and just let us know. They can email our mayor's office, and the mayor's office will get it to the appropriate division.
Oh, that's wonderful. I just want to make sure that if people want to donate or do anything, how can they reach them? So they can reach out to mayor's office, and then they will be directed wherever it needs to be.
Yes, and that's Nashua Mayor at nashuanh.gov.
So Nashua Mayor at nashuanh.gov.
Yes.
Okay. Any message to the viewers before we leave in this situation? People who are watching you, you want to say something?
Of course, we really hope that people practice social distancing. It's so important in these times to keep you and your family safe. And soon, we hope it will be over and we will be back to normal. But until then, the City of Nashua will continue to serve its residents.
Thank you for the wonderful job, Kim, you're doing and your team is doing. It's a selfless work, and many people don't see the work that many other team members do, like you were describing. So we really appreciate that. Thank you from this TV show from my side, and have a good night. And to my viewers, please stay safe, stay strong, and practice social distancing. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Bye.